Hello, everyone. I've brought on guys that have raised billions of dollars in venture capital. We've collaborated with some of the people that were featured on Cartoon Network. I know Digital Underground is one of the episodes that we had, and just a suite of other guests on the podcast. Today we have Jillian Murphy. I have so many questions for you because I had some girl named Diana. She had raised, I think she was handling in the company. They had hired her. She was the HR for because she had to work with like millions of dollars. They just kind of dropped it on her. And now I have you on as a guest, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to be
And
here. Thank you.
it's a pretty much my mission with these episodes is that I want to make sure that everyone can get the information that you get me probably not get or potentially you could get through these episodes and change your life. So it's like, hey, I'm trying to change my business. I'm trying to get to a whole nother level. I'm trying to spark creativity. I'm trying to get new ideas. Whatever it is, I just want that person to soar, excel, just to win, to be to yeah, and just kick butt. So
I love it.
these episodes are really niche, but they're really good. All of them.
I love it. Well, I'm so glad to be here. And I'm a lot like that with my podcast too. Like I want people to walk away with like tangible things that they can put into action immediately. So we're gonna have a great conversation today.
Cool. So I saw that you've done a lot of good in selling. One of the questions, because I was writing some down now,
Sure.
is what is not how, like not the intrinsics, but the external framework of like how can a person scale their business? Like the
Yeah.
external framework. Like here's a door. I'm not actually telling you like the ends of that, but here's like like the external stuff,
Yeah.
if
Well,
that's okay.
I think there's a couple things, right? I think number one, it depends on like what your business is. Every business is different and every business is going to scale different. You know, if you are a gym, we're going to scale it a little bit different than it is if you are a real estate agent or a digital entrepreneur. So I think the first thing to really look at is like what is your specific business model? Because every business model is absolutely different. And that's why even sometimes like in the online space, we see people's models and we're like, "Oh, I want that," but you have like no idea what's happening inside of it, right? But there's three things that drive every business, regardless of whatever it is. Number one, it's leads. So making sure you have leads coming through the door. And when I say the door can be a physical door. It can be through, your leads, anything like that, your social media content, right? Make sure you have leads coming in. Now we run our business mostly all organic. So it's all through organic traffic. Number two is when you have the right leads coming in, making sure your messaging and marketing is so on point that they're like, this is absolutely the thing that I need to get me to X, Y, and Z. And then the third one is like, how are you selling? What is your sales process? What does that look like? And I always ask people to this question too. When you want to scale your business, why do you want to scale it? Are you looking for more time freedom? Are you looking for more income? Like, what is the thing you're actually trying to remove or add to your business?
Got it. So for them to be specific with themselves, like their own self-awareness.
Yeah,
And
I think that's a big one. You know, one of the things I always say to my clients is like, you absolutely have to be your first sale. Like, would you buy from you? Would you listen to your own podcast? Would you consume your own content? Would you attend your own master classes? Would you frequent your gym? Would you eat at your restaurant? Right? Like, I think that's where we like start at the bare bones with building a business.
and how did you pretty much so I like the copy that your team and you had together here because you guys it's really good. So I kind of want to know how it is that from 25 years in what it is that you were doing, just in 3 years, you were able to just do something entirely different. Like how did that actually take place? Because
Yeah,
yeah,
I love this question. It's a really great story. So I was actually in distribution sales. So I worked for some of the biggest food service distributors in the country. And I operated as one of the only females in our organization. So
tripled
I
your
learned
income in 3 years.
what's
Yeah,
that?
that's it. You had
Yeah.
tripled your income in 3 years versus
Yeah.
25. So it's just like yeah.
Yeah, so the first thing that we did is when I moved to the online space, I niched down not to a specific person, but to a certain problem that I solve. So everyone comes to me for sales. Like you guys can see my hat, it says J Money. Like that is literally what people come to me for. How can Jill help us make more money in her business? I started there. I actually never have gone viral. I have a very small Instagram following, but what I have is exactly what I just talked about earlier. I have the right people walking through my AKA my door. My content does all of the heavy lifting for me. So I don't do any sales calls. I have no sales pages. I don't have setters. I don't have closers. It's all being done through my content. And then everything we sell is in the DMs. And you guys, we grew our business to seven figures in about 5 years, $500,000 in three. So, the framework absolutely works. And not only have I had these results, but thousands of clients as well.
And wow, that's awesome.
Thank
So,
you.
and then what it so it have you how do you sell? What's a good like selling, like how does a person create success? You got me. Like how do you create success, and how were you able to triple your income if I could? Like did you, what did you start doing that was different for other
Yeah.
people? If you could lay like a trail, like some footprints in the sand for them.
Yeah, so I
Like
think the number
it's
one
cool.
thing that I do different than any other sales coach out there is I don't teach like one specific way of selling because everybody's different, right? The way I sell is going to be different than the way Noel sells, different than Rebecca sells, right? So I think so often like people are following frameworks or scripts or they're listening to these sales greats, but like it doesn't actually feel good to them. So number one is I get to know my clients very specifically of like what makes you tick. Are you introverted? Are you extroverted? Are you talkative? Are you quiet? Like, what is the thing? And then we build a signature sales framework around your specific personality. Because all of us have downloaded scripts or we've gotten scripts from someone and like it doesn't really feel like us. Yeah, because it's not. So that's one thing that I do, I think, very differently. Also, I have real outside world experience. So no shit on the people in the online space, but most of them have never even been in real business. They just came to the online space, had some content that did good, and now they're AKA business owners or coaches, right? Like, and a business owner online is very different than a business owner offline. And I think I have really found this like sweet spot that I've been able to build businesses offline and inline. So I think that's it. And then my secret sauce, like what people hire me
Yes.
for, is actually selling in the DMs. So we do this all through messaging. I don't have closers. I don't have setters. I also don't have managed chat. I don't have any weird ass automations. Like it's literally me, human to human selling in the DMs. And we've sold over $1 million in the DMs.
In the DMs. And then what would be some good words that you use? Not like yeah, some good words, some that would like that pop out for a person
Yeah, so I think number one is everybody
that
is,
could.
yeah, like, yeah, exactly. Like everyone is getting into DMs and they're trying to move it way too quick. Like you have to get your person so bought in before you ever drop the investment, before you ever tell them how much your program is, before any of that, right? Like slow down. And I think so often, like even me, someone will slide into my DMs and they'll be like, "Hey, tell me what it is to work with you." And I'm like, throwing it back to them. And it's like, well, why do you want to work with me? What's happening right now? What's frustrating you right now? What's keeping you up at night? Like, what have you already tried? So often we're trying to sell to people before they're even ready. I always joke, like, I teach a lot of this in my community. Like, I show people my DMs and they're like, bro, she's literally asked you for the price like four times. I'm like, yeah, but like, I'm not ready to give it to her yet. So I'll just ping pong like another question back. So, number one, I think being better at asking really good questions to then get them to self-select into your offer. And then there's also just like really simple words like don't use like I think or this could work or if we work together or maybe, right? Use words that are like 10 toes down on confidence. Because I always say your ideal client is not confident. So if you're on shaky land and they're on shaky land, like nothing's happening. I use the example of like a toddler. Like I don't have toddlers, my daughter's 24, but imagine like a toddler being at the edge of a pool and like nervous to jump in. And the mom's like, I mean, like, maybe I'll catch you. Like, this could work. Like, I hope you don't drown. No, but that kid is so confident that their mom or dad is going to get them that they make the leap. And I need you guys to be that confident parent on the other end.
How did you learn how to sell
Yeah. So number one, I
so
come
that
from
people can learn how to sell? Yeah,
yeah.
or
I
get
actually
better.
just interviewed my father on my podcast, the
Cool.
Jillian Murphy Show. My dad is a phenomenal salesman. He's been a business owner his whole life, and I learned the majority of it from him. And then I was in a corporate sales position for 24 and a half years, where I always say I sold to the two hardest people. Number one, I only sold to men. And number two, I only sold to restaurateurs. If you know anything about restaurateurs, they have egos so big they barely fit through the door. So I had to really get down to like relationship building because these chefs are and restaurateurs are some of the hardest to sell to, especially as a woman. Especially as a woman back then in my 20s when like I would go in and basically they would just want to like talk to me because I was like eye candy back in the day. It's like, no, I had to stand on like what I solved and what I did for them.
How did you become a corporate executive? Is that when you were like a corporate executive?
Yeah. So I actually, it's like quick story. I actually went to college to be a police officer and I dropped out of the academy halfway through. And my dad at the time was like, you have to get a job. And I was like, okay, this sucks. So I got a job as an intern at a sales organization. And I was the first female hired since 1963. So when I say like I entered boy club, I entered like boy club. And I had to learn to sell very differently than these like 40, 50, 60-year-old men were doing. I was 22 years old, right? So that's actually where I started. I started as an entry-level salesperson. I worked up. I was a director. I was an executive. I was running huge sales teams. And then I was also a co-founder of a product-based business as well. So I've had my hands in a lot of different parts of business.
And then and then I'm so curious. So how did you be so from being an executive, did you ever have some like mental walls where you're like, hey, I don't want to like leave my golden handcuff jobs.
Yeah.
I want to just stay here. You get me with my comfortable multi like six-figure salary
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
How is that like transitioning and then, your income, how you were able to do so much more.
Yeah.
You tripled it.
So I
Go
was
ahead.
in my corporate income for 23 and a half years, and I was a ride or die corporate person. I always use this example. Like if I could have tattooed my company's name on my forehead, like I would have. I had a great job, a great gig, making great money, corner office, like living the life. Well, then the pandemic happened, and our company was bought by investors. And the top 10 percentage of people that were making a really good income all got let go. I literally lost my job on a Tuesday. I had no idea what I was going to do. But at the exact same time, so think about like two tracks. People are losing their jobs over here, and then people are going to the online space over here. So I was like, I'm just going to literally take my skill sets that I have and shift them to the online space. And I also will never work for somebody else again. So even if this means I have to make less, I'll never work for somebody else. And by again, like I hit my first six figures in 6 months, $500,000 by year three, three and a half, and then we were at seven figures by year five, and we're 7 years in now, right? That was so imperative to me because I never wanted someone else to have control of my income ever, ever, ever again.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is like, I think a lot of people say like everybody should be an entrepreneur. I actually call bullshit on that. I do not think everybody should be an entrepreneur. I think a lot of people are meant to go to a job. I think that a lot of people are meant to be entrepreneurs. So I think that there's a definite difference.
So when you were in that job, was it commission only or was it commission base?
So it was salary plus commission.
Salary plus commission, yeah.
Yep.
And then what did you do to, you get me, you 6x your income in 3 years, not
Yeah.
3x it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
6x'd it. And then we
yeah.
and we, and we almost 10x'd it by year seven. Because I was around $120 in my corporate career and we're over $1 million now.
So that's so cool. That's amazing and such.
Thank you.
And then and then the buyer types, you get me, like what are buyer types and how do you sell to them all? And what are the top mistakes, you get me, that salespeople typically make, and how do you fix them? What are the top sales mistakes people typically make? How do you fix those?
Yeah, I think some of the
Everything
biggest
was already
mistakes.
like pre-scripted out, which is cool, the questions.
Yeah, I love it. I think one of the biggest things that people do when they're selling wrong is they're trying to sell everybody the exact same way. And you can't do that. Everybody's different, right? So there's like four basic buyer types, but I'm going to talk about two of them today, right? Top level. So if you take two different buyer types, I want you to think about a pendulum, how big a pendulum swings. Well, on one end, you have very analytical buyers. They want to know details. They want to know facts. They want to study. More information is better. They're logical thinkers, right? These are your engineers, your doctors, your techie people, right? This is one side of the spectrum. The other end of the spectrum is me, right? I'm a dominant buyer. I know exactly what I want. I know what it is. And if you basically give me way too much information, you're going to lose me. So I want you to think about this. If you are an analytical person, you can't sell everybody that way, right? And if I'm a dominant person, I can't think that everyone's just going to like come in my world and buy because I'm fantastic. Some people want details, features, benefits. What are you going to get? So I think the first thing you absolutely have to do is you have to ask the right questions. One of the easiest things that you can do is you can actually ask someone this question. How was your day going today? If you were to ask me, how was your day going today? I would say, it's busy. I got a lot of shit going on. Immediately, you can tell that I am not someone that's here for like chit chat. I'm someone who is like focused on what I want, right? But if you ask maybe Rebecca how her day's going, and she's like, oh my gosh, my kids are off school, my husband's at a golf tournament, and they start talking more, you have to sell to that person very differently. They're much more relationship based. So again, if you really ask the right questions, you can really understand who you're selling to. And then depending on your marketing. So I don't attract a lot of analytical buyers because I don't have things for them. I don't do sales calls. I don't have a web page. I don't have landing pages. I don't have like a million things they can read. So they also self opt out, which is kind of what I want because analytical buyers don't move quick. And I want people that move quick.
Gotcha. Cool. And what is so can you talk about the communication and selling? That's what I wanted to talk about with you partially.
Yeah,
That's one of the
absolutely.
things. Communication and selling, like the science behind it, the art form of it, like how you yeah.
Yeah,
Can you
well,
your mind map, your blueprint, you get me, like the in-depthness of an edge of all such of all that.
yeah, so I think number one is people don't take time to actually get to know who they're selling to, right? My entire framework on sales is it's twofold. It's best friend versus expert, and that's it. So right now, if you're showing up and you are only being the expert, I'm only being the best car salesman, I'm only being the best digital marketer, right? You're missing out on that relationship piece. And it's so key that you build a relationship with people, not only because they could be a client, but they could also be a collaborator. They could be a colleague. Like there's so many other things that you can do. So number one is like I always say, like slow down. Like truly get to know people. Why are they interested in this? Why do they want it? Right? Like the other day I went and bought furniture. I just moved to South Carolina. I went and bought furniture. I was trying to buy a mattress. The guy was almost awkward because he was not talking about anything. Like, hey, why'd you move here? What do you do? Like, did you move here by yourself? He could have found out so much about me. Number one, he probably could have found out what type of mattress I was looking for, could have found out my income level, could have found out a lot, but like he wasn't asking me questions. So, you guys ask people questions, get to know them. You can find out so much by asking people questions. A question that I ask in all my conversations I'm having with people is like, I'll compliment like a woman's wedding ring. I'm like, oh my God, your wedding ring is absolutely beautiful. Like it's blinding me right now. What does your husband do? You can find out so much like what's the second income in the house, right? By not even really realizing by doing that. So again, asking questions is going to be key. Also, mirroring their type of energy, right? So if you guys are listening to this podcast, you can tell I'm fast spoken, I'm high energy, all of those things. The worst thing you could do is sell to me in like a very monotone way or like not be interesting or slow me down, right? So that's where like a dominant personality is going to like ambush you in a sales call, right? So again, if you are someone that doesn't have a dominant personality, you really shouldn't be taking on people who are more dominant because they're going to run the call, which is what you actually don't want. And I think the last thing is just knowing too, like how to follow up. So many people are nervous. They don't want to feel salesy or slimy or salesy or any of those things. But like I always say, it is a literal disservice if you do not follow up with somebody, right? Again, I'm gonna tell you a quick story. I was going to buy this mattress the other day, and I was literally at the checkout. At the checkout, the guy was doing my paperwork, and I went to give him my credit card, and I go, "Oh my gosh, I actually have the wrong credit card in my hand. Let me go out to my car." He never messaged me again. He never reached out to me. He lost like a couple $1,000 sale because he probably didn't want to like get in his own head and be like, well, I don't want to like chase that girl down. But he really would have found out that credit card was locked. I didn't have the right credit card on me. And in the meantime, because he didn't follow up, I went and bought it somewhere else.
Oh wow. That was a great salesperson. Here,
Yeah,
guys, here's what I do.
yeah, like literally. You guys, I do this all the time. I create content all the time around like shitty salespeople in my own life.
That's good. It's a
Yeah.
good way to just cool. And then why are sales calls BS?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I don't believe in sales calls
it's
because
because they should have bought already, or what do you have
l-
in
I
mind?
just think like number one, like let me ask you, Noel, is your day busy? Are you busy all
Uh,
day?
I make sure it's busy.
Yeah. Do you want to get on a sales call and like waste your time?
Um, yes. I
You
want them to
do?
buy, not waste my time. There, it's gonna be invested. I
Yeah.
just need,
So let
I
me
want to set
ask
an
you if
appointment to
yeah, so
start.
let's just
Yeah.
say for an example, I have 8 sales calls
To buy.
today and they're all an hour long. That means I can only talk to 8 people today. But what if I had 16 conversations going on Instagram DMs or Facebook Messenger or LinkedIn chat? You can sell so much quicker in the DMs because you have multiple conversations going. This morning, while I was in bed, before I even got up, I was having 3 different sales conversations. Now imagine if I had to get them all on a call. But instead, I was going back between the DMs, sending this one a link, answering this one's question. So you can actually scale so much more when you're not sitting on calls all day long. And also, people don't want to be on calls. And thirdly, the reason I call bullshit is because most people are not trained on how to run a sales call, right? So you're practicing on your ideal client. You're practicing here, where when you're in DMs or Messenger, you have time to kind of go through that. And I will tell you, as someone who's invested a lot of money in her business, I will not get on a sales call. I will not get on a sales call. Absolutely not. If you can't send me everything through a text message or a DM, I don't have time to do it. So if you're listening to this podcast right now and you want to attract high level buyers, people that move and make decisions quick, I can guarantee you they don't have time on their calendar to go and sit on a sales call.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, like I look at my schedule for an example, right? If I want to hire an ad agency today and they were like, "Hey, let's do a call." I might not even be able to get them on my call for 2 weeks. But imagine if he was like, "Yeah, let me just shoot you a text and go over everything." I could literally hire him by the end of today if needed. So it's just
Cool.
like high level buyers don't want to get on calls.
And then, what is if you were to give someone like a little system for success
Yeah.
in the art of communication and selling, what would that be? Like a little system.
Yeah, I think number one is like, who do you want to work with? Like, who do you want to call in, right? I think so many people are trying to sell to everybody, but like, everybody's not your ideal client. Everybody's not who you are made to work with. So, like, who do you want to work with? I think that's number one. I think also, what is your art of communication and how do you want to call people in? I think a lot of people are not authentically themselves in the online space or in the offline space. So, communication gets hard because they're like putting on a mask, right? I have no idea if I can swear on your podcast. I have no idea.
Let's try not
Yeah.
to.
Okay. So so that's a great example, right? So I am not going to water down who I am in my own authentic voice of communication, right? So I think for so many people, communication's hard because they're trying to like mirror what somebody else is doing, but like, who are you? Like, create your own level of communication. And like, I'm not for everybody, just like you're not for everybody. And that's absolutely okay too. So I think that is one of it. And then I think the last part is really knowing people. Like, what makes them tick? Why are they doing it? I mean, I'm not going to go on a date with someone and like them ask me to marry me on the first date. Like, that'd be
Why
weird as
not?
hell, right? I mean,
Are you
maybe.
single by any chance?
I am single,
That's
actually.
good. Yeah. I wasn't sure.
I
But
am
what,
single. Yes, I'm very single, actually.
I mean, I hope that guy had some confidence. You got me. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, hi, like, how are you? It's like,
Yeah,
hey,
like get to know me. Like, why am I single? What am I looking for? What's important to me, right? Versus just like going on a date and making it like all about you or like that's what I think most people do when it comes to selling. Selling's a lot like dating. It's a lot like relationships.
That's good actually, yes.
Yeah.
And how did you how did you end up like creating the success that you had? Like along the way, you had probably like luck and like instant like was it luck or were you changing things, a combination of the two? I know it's that, but like I think, right? Like can you
Yeah.
talk about like those little like milestones, the ones that you could talk about, or it's like I can share
Yeah,
this.
absolutely. And I'm an open book. Like you can ask me anything about business 100%. This is the thing. I believe the reason why I've been so successful in my business in such a short amount of time is because I've done a few things really well. Number one is I learned from people who were ahead of me. I did not try to figure it out. I am not YouTubing my way through anything. I am not like reading a book and taking a course. Who is the expert that's going to get me there? And I'm going to hire them immediately. That's number one. Number two, I had the same mentor for 5 years. So, because of that, we grew my business together. So many people are like, I call it like I'm not going to swear on your podcast, but like they're just like all over the place with coaches and they're wondering why they're not moving the needle. Like find someone, lock in and like go the distance with them, right? The third thing that I think I did very well is I have an unwavering belief in myself. I know that I'm going to figure it out. I know that this is going to work. So I don't make my coach or my mentor like my life raft. I'm going to figure it out and there's going to be this like rocket ship that I'm absolutely on. And then fourth is I don't sit in the things that aren't working very long. So I move quickly. I make decisions quickly. And also I have a very small team. So not only have we been very successful, we're extremely profitable because I run with a very, very, very lean and mean team, which allows me to take the money and invest it back into the business. Like we've
It's
never been
awesome.
in the red. Not 1 month have we ever been in the red in business.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love it. Never been in the red in business. That's
Never.
impressive as heck.
Thank you.
I was watching one of the guys that I learned from Brad Lee, and I had one of the guys. He's like, "Oh, it was not that story," which is awesome. I mean, it
Yeah.
sucks for him, but like, it
Yeah.
just, yeah, feel
We
bad for
see
him
this all the
actually.
time. You guys,
Don't
there's
want to
business
say.
owners online that are showing you their like Stripe accounts for $1 million, but like their business is costing them hundreds of thousands of dollars to run, right? Like there's a difference between what you make and what you bring home. And I'm really big in not just helping my clients make money, but also keep a lot of money in the bank.
I think I don't know what else to ask you. I've asked like
Perfect. This is
some
a
pretty
great
cool
show. I appreciate you having
questions.
me.
Yeah, if is there have you learned like do you have any good one-liners that you use every now and then that you can use again if you share them?
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
think like some of the one-liners that I just like use with my clients all the time is like I always say like I'm ready when you
couple.
are. Like it basically remove any type of like sales resistance. I say that all the time. I always say like when we work together, I do a ton of assumptive closing. So like, hey, when you and I work together, this is what it's going to look like. I never say like if we work together. And I do a lot of content around activating my clients to move and agitating the problem on repeat. So those are things that I just do like every day in my content.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you for
That's a
having
nice.
me.
Thank you so much. Is there anything you want to sign off with, like to the guests? Any like last like words?
I would just say like really
Yeah,
getting clear of like what are you building. I think it's also really important that you don't just build a business, but you also build a life that you're obsessed with. So yeah, you can have all the money in the world, you can have a really great business, you can scale it, but also like does the lifestyle match it? And I think even when you're hiring mentors or you're working with people, asking yourself like, would you trade places with that person? If yes, great. If not, no.
yeah. Cool. I'm gonna
Thank
stop
you.
recording here. Let me just stop.